driver interviews, pit action, industry news. We're bringing you everything that fuels the adrenaline-pumping world of dirt track racing. Buckle up now. You're sitting with the Slimy Bastards. Take it away, Jason.
Welcome to the Slimy Bastard podcast show. I'm in Algona tonight. It was a special night of racing with the late models, IMCA late models tonight. And first and foremost, I want to thank the guys who helped me get me here and around, Lake Mills Motorsports and Mike Hahn and all them guys have been really good, and I enjoy talking with them guys. And if you get a chance, go down to the pits and meet them guys, Kelly Shyrock and all them guys, a good bunch of guys to talk to after the race and all that. And then, of course, old Slade Pit out in Rock Springs, Wyoming, helps me with my stickers and all that, and been really good to work with. And with that due, I welcome back the legend himself, Kobe Fett, and now I got his dad and younger brother, Alex. And what's that?
Alec.
Oh, Alec.
With the C. Yep.
So
it's common.
First and foremost, I want to first say last week I wanted to have you guys on last week with the Salute to Veterans tour. And it was just so busy and chaotic with everything that it made it tough for working it out with all three of you. But I want to say your car, Alec, it was pretty emotional every night at the races. If you didn't tear up listening to that speech and what's on your car, quite frankly, you probably need to be taken out back and get the shit kicked out of you. So it definitely was. I was very tired, and it's hard to listen to every night. I mean, and I'm glad I was able to listen to it every night. But it's quite an emotional thing to see that on your car. And why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what that symbolizes and what it all means and everything.
You know, we wanted to do a medical theme because it hasn't been done, and you know, we came up with this theme, and Jason, he wanted to put on Doc Anderson, and you know, he actually read a book on you know, him and three other guys, and he passed in 2006 and at 24 years old, and on duty, and you know, he went and visited the gravesite in Arlington, and he was the only one that was buried there, and met with the family and talked to them for hours, and they live in Colorado, and they actually came, they made their trip up here in 11 hours, and it's just, they came to every show and they got recognized, and you know, they told the story, and you know, it was really heartwarming, and just unbelievable. It's just, you know, and it's an honor to have him on there, and I couldn't imagine any other way. So
yeah, and it's a cool scene. Those opening ceremonies every night were just pretty overwhelming, honestly. And I'm so glad. That's my first year of doing this, going to every night and everything, and it was pretty cool to see every night. What I think the best thing though is everybody in the pits come out to the raceway or up on the side. And you've seen it at every track in Spencer. You've seen it in Algona here. You've seen it in Boone. And that speaks volumes of what this sport actually kind of symbolizes, of what they stand behind. And so with that, shift gears here and have some fun after some of this. But great win tonight for you.
Alec.
Yeah, I know his fucking name. I mean, Jesus.
Not Alex. Just said, who are you?
But no, both you guys have been pretty consistent of running 1 and 2 against each other and all that. And I said to you, Kobe, on the first podcast I had you on, if you guys get up into each other, you guys start flipping each other off. And doing that kind of shit. I heard yours take already. So
Yeah, I've never
you just
called
shut the
number.
fuck up.
Yeah.
And I want to hear your younger brother's take on this. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Alec.
Well, I guess I don't really do anything, but we never really get into each other to get mad. You know, it's just good competition,
Yeah.
pretty much. And
He's never called me number one. So.
you know, it makes we push each other pretty hard. So that's what makes us faster.
Sure. And you guys race actually pretty clean. Like tonight, you guys raced pretty clean. You guys were going for 1 and 2 again. You got spun out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I spun myself.
Well, yeah, okay. And but you came back, and I mean that was a good for third and second place. Is 0.006 seconds of a difference for second place. So it was a hell of a finish for you as well. And so I'm going to ask you, Dad, when you see your 2 boys out here racing and that, you get pretty excited and overwhelmed at times with emotions with that?
I was just enjoying the show they were putting on. I mean, I can't favor either one.
Sure.
I mean, obviously, but
Right.
I was looking forward to the show they were going to put on. But listen,
Yeah.
I want to back up just a little bit because these guys don't make contact. Those two. But Colby and I,
we make contact.
we had a little fun. We were having a pretty good amount of fun over in Britt a few weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him poke his nose under me, and I go, I didn't try to run him in the tires or anything because I figured he would be nice and back off. He wouldn't hit the tires. So I just said, well, let's squeeze him a little. And apparently, he didn't care for that too much. 'Cause, then he pulls up an old trick I taught him in the go-karts when he was about 7.
Mm-hmm.
He made me go in that turn a little faster than I'd like to on the last lap. And so
Yeah, I pushed him a little bit.
that wasn't terrible. It was fine.
Yeah, there's
No
bumpers.
more than I pushed him, like squeezing him down.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
but anyway, with that, but
Yeah, I broke his bumper off. I didn't.
They don't call him Little Dicky for nothing.
well, yeah. So that's just a little thing I had to throw in there because
Yeah.
they are clean.
Yeah.
I don't see them because I don't think I'd want to make either one of them mad. It's the
Sure.
skills that they have.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, but no, when they're out there, it is goosebumps.
Yeah.
It's not as much as it is when I'm out there racing with them,
Sure.
except for I can't hardly ever see them because they're usually too far ahead of me.
Yeah. And versus driving, you get to see the whole thing, obviously, and watch what.
Probably the thing I do enjoy most about doing doing the kind of a semi-retirement schedule, just doing it leisurely, is I get to watch them so much more.
Yeah.
So that's what I enjoy.
You know, Justin Yeager out in Wyoming is the same. You know, he's racing. He's got a new modified that he's racing. The same kind of deal where he just races when he wants to. And then Bryson and Braxton are racing modifieds. And he says the same thing, you know, of he gets enjoyment out of all that. And,
That's the dad.
yeah,
Okay.
Justin. Yeah.
Justin's a dad.
Yeah. And they'll all be out here at the Super National, so I'll have to introduce you guys to them.
Yeah,
A great
I bet.
family of
Braxton.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but not Bryson with the great autograph. Up
Yeah, that motherfucker. You know, it's funny to say that. So, Tanner Black actually, and so you guys can see it's right here.
Yeah.
It looks like a little 2-year-old
Yeah.
scribbled up there. But Tanner Black, who my dad was really close with, and he goes, when we had this first done up was for the race out in Wyoming, the memorial race for my dad that we raised money for the Salute to Veterans race. But we did these up, and we had all the guys that raced in those races sign that, and then Tanner Black looks at Bryson Yeager's signature and he goes, Jesus Christ, tell Braxton if he's going to be driving a modified signing autographs to fucking learn how to sign an autograph, would you?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just funny to say.
Because I remember Chris Krug, because he's terrible at writing anything too. And he's like, I've never signed an autograph. And it's like, oh, I figured you would never have either. I mean, you're not very popular, but no, I'm just kidding.
you know, speaking of old
Krug.
little Chris Krug,
Yeah.
he blew his engine tonight.
Yeah.
So if anyone out there is listening and they want to help this guy out, get him an engine, we should start a little fund on this deal of
Yeah.
helping him out of finding an engine
I
for
mean,
him.
he did just have twins, so.
Yeah, I mean, he's going all over
I
the
think,
place.
what is it, 3 kids under 2 years old now he's
Yeah.
got? And,
You would have thought his name was Kobe Fett.
well, I don't have kids. I have a daughter that would claim as my own, but
Yeah,
love her to death. But man, I have 3 kids under 2 years old in
it's a
one
lot of
house.
work. Yeah,
I mean, I'm probably enough work myself. I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
3 more. I know Chris is probably a lot of work too, so poor Harley. But
So, Alec, when you're not racing and that, you just recently got married. Congratulations on that. In fact, your wedding was in Britt, right?
No, it was actually here. In
Oh, was it?
Algona.
In Algona? Okay, sorry.
Yep.
And you did it right here at the grandstands, right?
Yeah, it turned out really nice, I think.
Yeah. Didn't rain or nothing.
It sprinkled a little bit. But
That's a good sign.
that's a good luck. So
Yeah. So we got the wife in here. She's just listening and kind of obviously all smiles.
seeing how bad I do.
What's that?
Seeing how bad I do.
I don't know
Well,
if you ever heard, but Alec doesn't talk much. I don't know if you ever heard that, but
I've heard it from everybody that when we were walking up here, good luck.
yeah.
But so far, it's been pretty good.
Oh yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah.
Just got to get him drunk.
How
Yeah.
many? Yeah. How many weeks have you been married?
Oh, 3.
3 weeks. See, that's why he's talkative. He's all smiles. He's been without for probably a couple of
Oh,
months
gee.
or whatever. So he's all smiles now, you know. So yeah, now he's speechless.
Now he's
So,
speechless.
he's still smiling, but he's speechless. So,
Yeah.
so Alec, you won last year. You won what's the race over there? And that we're racing on Tuesday.
Harris Flash.
Harris Flash last year, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that would be probably one of your biggest wins that you're proud of? Or
Yeah, that is one of my bigger wins, and it's just so much competition over there. So it was amazing that I could get that one done. So
Yeah. And you're going there this Tuesday to race and do all that, right?
yeah, we'll be there, and I'd like to get it again, but Colby's gonna be hard to beat. So
Yeah.
If I spin out again, I won't. But
I'll just have to prepare.
2 nights.
You know, if Chris Krug was here, he'd find a way to fuck it up.
Yeah, I would.
Just jump in the wall again.
Yeah, hit the wall last year. Hit the wall there. Last night I spun out. Today I spun out. I mean,
Would you say, you guys all 3 racing that, would you say that'd probably be one of your top tracks that you like going
for
to?
sure.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite tracks.
I don't think that you've never been.
I
There.
have not gone there, but it looks like a fun place to race. I'm not at that level to get in somebody's way, really. So
Yeah.
I set it out.
Did you ever race there when you were racing full time or anything
No,
like that?
no, I was just a low budget hobby stock driver in the 90s, early
Mhm.
90s.
Okay.
Didn't really have a ton of seat time then either. Really, I mean, you race full seasons every now and then, but I wrecked that for you. I mean,
Yeah. Here comes Colby, 1991. Let's start raising kids instead of racing. I'm not a Chris Krug, apparently.
So, what would you say would be the biggest change, I should say, in the sport since 1991 to today?
They are a little tighter on their,
Rules?
They pinch down on you, for the rules and stuff. We used to stretch the rules sometimes even break them.
Would you say, so when they come in after a race and they would tech you and all that, but they really were kind of loose on that? Is that what you're meaning? Or
Yeah, for the most part, I would say. Either I just got lucky.
Yeah.
Because I won a few back then.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I didn't get disqualified.
And you raced here in Algona and Britt. And
I raced one time in Belmont. That was kind of a neat little track, but blew an engine down there that time. The single time I did that, but it was Algona because I lived here.
Yeah.
Low budget.
Yeah.
And then most racing I did was really with the boys and go-karts.
Mhm.
Not against Alec because he was too young, but Colby and I raced quite a bit the go-karts.
Okay.
To
Was
get
that
him
locally,
back.
or where'd you have to go for that?
What, go-karts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, we did a
Toters
lot
like
running around
went
town.
Prince,
Well, it was Toner's Lake, it was Brownsdale,
Camera.
Blue Earth, Camrard. I don't know if that track likes me because I pretty much did a cartwheel and a pirouette 2 weeks in a row. It was what they call a clone special. But anyway, yeah, that was probably the most scared I was in wrecking anything I've ever raced.
Really?
So we kind of backed off that stuff.
Yeah.
I was glad to see Colby start.
And, I helped Mike and Alex Hansen up there because I live up in Northwood, and I helped them farm a couple fall seasons and that. And I think, if I remember right, I think Alex Hansen raced with you guys and doing some of that.
The clone go-karts?
Yeah, I think so. I remember I'd have to ask him, but I'm pretty sure if I remember right, he was saying that he raced some of that with you guys. Mm-hmm. So now, Alex, did you race any of that or?
No, I didn't know.
Because what happened is we decided to get back into racing, and because I was out of racing since I was 16, and when I was 20 or 19, 20, we bought a go-kart. Dad and I both got a clone. There's clone class back when they were box stock, and now they're getting pretty crazy. I heard too, but we got involved in that and decided to get back into racing, but get the racing going first and group, and go-karts was the cheapest route.
Yeah.
So Dad and I did that together, and I remember my first race in the go-kart, Dad kicked my ass. He left me. I never saw him.
Really?
But I had same size tires in the rear, not a wide one. So I had excuses why I lost again. So, usually I like coming up with those. So.
Does Sky say that about you too? You have all the excuses in the world.
Yeah.
You heard about the bumper sticker I gave you, didn't you?
Well, the mustache really started that conversation. Yeah.
So I told Kobe he looks like a younger Jeff Gordon.
Yes.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
Brooke says it and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But and. He's like, oh, Jesus, da-da-da-da.
Damn near Earnhardt.
Yeah, pretty close. But then I said, well, Jesus Christ, you could pass for a porn star too, a 70s porn star.
At least
Plan B there.
Yeah, so then he started,
Well, you asked me what my name was.
Well, yeah, I said, if you were a porn star, what would your name be? And right away, just like a snap of a finger, Little Dicky.
Well,
but this is is this your wiener
no,
dog?
That's but it's a dog.
It's a dog.
People know.
So
if we're talking about dogs now, we don't have a wiener out on the podcast.
Oh, Jesus.
There's a dog.
That's my wiener.
Yeah, Mom, this is a dog.
No, my dog.
Yeah,
it's her wiener. She said.
Jesus, I don't like that. Don't say that.
But no, what was crazy about that whole story is, though, on the way down to the track and that, I found this bumper sticker as a magnet bumper sticker in my dad's truck. I got my dad's truck from my brother and sister and that, and this bumper sticker was in there, and it said, the driver of this vehicle has a small penis. And I was laughing about it. I was on the way to the track when we were doing this podcast. And I said, I'm going to put it in my trailer here in my cabinet. Just, you never know when I'm going to give it to somebody. And I'll be damned if it didn't flow perfectly for what?
First podcast you added in here for.
Yeah. This is the first podcast we did in Bastard One here.
Yep. That's what
I'm calling this thing.
Bastard One. It's
no,
weird how that worked. That's crazy.
It's kind of
it's your dad sitting there joking with us.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And that's the way I kind of looked at it. I mean, what's the odds of all that? You know what I mean? So what's next after? Obviously, we got Iowa Speedway coming up this week. You guys racing up there in Deer Creek. And then you got Britt. Then Algona. And are you racing Spencer?
Spencer for Monday, yeah.
Okay.
I'll
and
be
Alec,
there.
you're not, right?
I'm not racing Spencer, no.
He's giving me a chance.
So.
Oh, wait a minute. I might head there.
Oh, crap.
Now he's putting his shoes in. See?
Yeah.
So.
I got to spin myself out again now. So.
Yeah.
Don't hit Dad. Spin out first.
out of all the, so you got, like I said, you got Spencer, Deer Creek, Britt, Algona, and then back to Britt.
Yep.
And then is it Boone on Saturday? Is that?
I don't know. I guess I didn't look at the full schedule, but don't they? I don't know if they have a
There isn't
special.
one Saturday.
There isn't one. Okay.
Okay. But out of all them shows, I mean, what would you say the one out of all that I would take Spencer out of it because it's not.
It's not really special for us.
Right, and I would even take Algona out of that. I'd say more so Britt of the Night of 1,000 Stars versus.
For our class, it's not really much, but the mod, just a Larry Evers special, and he was a good dude, and his brother raised a lot of money to raise for that.
You're talking here in
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
5,000 to win.
Okay.
But no, for us, it's not really special, but.
But if you were to say out of all the Speed Week, what would be the one that you'd want? Is Night of 1,000 Stars? Would you say more of an accomplishment to win, or a Night of 10,000 Stars, or the Harris Clash? I mean, you won that, Alex. Sorry. What would you say is more elite, or what would you want to win more?
I think it would be definitely the Harris Clash.
Really?
But yeah, definitely get a lot more sport mods that show up, and it's hard to get in the show.
So you would say it's more of a. What would you say?
It's one of the crown jewels for our class.
Yeah, that's what I was looking
crown
for.
jewel.
It's almost
Especially
like
that-
a Boone Nationals.
That sweet trophy you got. It's made out of.
Made out of shocks and
Oh yeah,
drive
that's
shaft,
right.
and,
Yeah,
it's just really cool. I have that in the living room because, like, looking at it. So,
yeah. Does Brooke polish it up every night? And...
I don't know. I haven't seen her.
I could make another comment of something else, but I'll keep
Let's
that
see.
PG. Of
Please, we already stopped. My mom said she had a wiener. They stopped being PG a while ago.
But your father-in-law actually does quite a bit with your car and helps you out, and really really nice guy, and I would say probably does pretty most of the work on your car. Would you say?
Yeah, he helps out a lot, and he's usually in the shop when I am. So, but I like to do more of the technical work. Like he usually leaves me with the tires because he doesn't want to mess them up, But yeah, he does a lot of the heavy work, and it saves me. So
Yeah.
and he funds me a little bit, so it just helps out a lot.
Leave it to you to fuck things up.
Yeah, leave it.
Actually, you can pop the windows open.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
turn
you're
the
good.
AC on and make
know.
all this commotion.
I remember my first day on the job too.
Yeah.
So you guys all three work together at Snap-on, right?
Technically, I mean, I'm Snap-on, and then Dad and Alec both work white
transfer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a part of Snap-on then? And
No, not really. It's its own company, kind of.
okay.
Yeah, well, I'm up in Forest City at the White Transfer facility there. It's a warehouse, and
Yep.
we support 3M, Snap-on, and also Winnebago.
Gotcha.
So since they're located so close to, for Alec here in Algona, they actually are so close to Snap-on. They cater, they ship out boxes for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you bring Kobe lunch then? And
No, I never actually seen it.
No,
yeah,
I do
he's
take
got
Alec
his
to
phone
lunch once in a
anyway.
while.
You probably wouldn't get him away of. What's that?
I said I take Alec out to lunch a few times,
Yeah.
trying to get speed secrets out of him.
Yeah. Doesn't work.
Well, it's getting better. I'm getting better. So we'll see.
Now, I want to know something.
Oh,
And I've had you on before and all that. We kind of hit base on this a little bit. But when you guys, obviously both you guys are married now and kids and all of that, I mean, probably kids in the future and all that. Would you, what's that?
Thinking of, I don't know.
oh no, I'm not married yet.
Nobody's not
Oh,
married.
I thought you were married.
No, but I've been. Yeah, I pretty much am. Just haven't been through the formals yet.
So, would you start your kids out? What class would you start them out in racing?
Let me chime in real quick. I'll make it quick. And these boys were so fortunate back when they first started a car, we'll call it.
Yeah.
They were running 4 cylinders, but they were rear wheel drive.
Yeah.
So they were actually learning how to drive.
Sure.
And actually Colby more so. And then Alec was just allowed to run with the front wheel drives, more compacts now,
Okay.
but he had a rear wheel drive car.
Gotcha.
And so we were so fortunate that that's where I wish they had something like that so they can learn how to drive. Because if you go from a front wheel drive car and get into a rear wheel drive car, you're lost.
Yeah. It's a night day difference. Of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was their startup
Sure.
in the car.
Big cars. Yeah.
And we had a ball back then. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like you guys are still having fun, though.
Oh, yeah. I was. Most nights we do, yeah. We ball one up. That's not so fun, but
Yeah. And that just comes with everything, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you take the good with the bad, and the good with the good of. But now, when you guys ain't racing or that, what are you guys doing? You guys hanging out together? Like you guys do quite a bit outside of.
I'm usually either in the shop with the guys. Lo and behold, I actually do kind of work on things.
That's not what they say, but you can call what you want. But
It's usually I just take parts off the race car and walk up to them with parts in my arms and say, "Hey guys, I took all these parts off. What do we do with them?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "We need all those. Come on, dude." But
I'm surprised you don't have caution tape up and around your shop there and practice signing autographs.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Have you signed any baby's foreheads yet? You know how many people have asked me, does he actually sign a baby's forehead?
never signed a baby's forehead or never signed a body part. So I've never been. No,
Alec
yet.
have.
Alec has.
I don't think I have.
That's not what Brooke has said.
I don't remember it at least.
Body doesn't remember. So he was a beer in. He doesn't remember.
Probably my birthday.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, you want to get Alec talking? Wow.
What's that?
You give him 2 beers. He'll be,
He's having this
There's a lot
spike.
of shots.
Yeah.
He's just having the spike monster here, so give it about 15 minutes. and
Right.
he'll be, Brooke will really be smiling tomorrow.
or sleeping.
So, you guys are both racing the Boone Nationals this year, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Alec, I hope you win it.
Yeah,
I do.
I just keep starting too far back and just don't get enough time, I guess. But
Kobe, we both know how you did last year. Chris Krug said, we just watched you fuck that up. So
he knew it. And did he not say he knew I would? He said, I knew Colby would fuck it up because he always does. So,
And in Colby's defense, it was a yellow flag that messed that all up.
yeah. Well, yeah.
He had it. He was checked out.
Usually I'm at that point and just, track changes at Boone, though. It's,
you know what? At the end of the day, when you do win that kind of event, or when it does happen, it'll be even that much more meaningful or more special too. You know what I mean?
yeah. I'm just lucky Alec does start farther back because the last several of them he's passed. I can't count how many cars.
I think the last time I got hard charger.
Yeah, last almost 2 times.
Yeah.
Last almost 2 years he's been starting back and just up top 4 almost every night. So.
No, we talked last time. You're probably going to go to an A-mod next year, right?
Well, that's word on the
change?
street. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what logistics do and everything. But
I think,
Alex,
I'm
is
pretty sure I talked to the money guy, and he wasn't resisting much.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I
Mike
think
Howland, by the way. He was not fighting the idea.
No.
I think you'd be pretty well. You know, I think you do pretty well in it. I'd be excited. I was hoping you'd do it this year, honestly. And you and I have talked about that a little bit at the track and that. But, Alec, is that something you want to do here in the future too? Is move up?
maybe a couple of years. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Got to be able to fund it first. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different. I mean, obviously mods have been struggling, weekly counts,
All right.
but I still have faith it'll get better next couple of years when things. I mean, everything's been crazy the last 3 years. Let's be honest. So
I think they really need to change things up though in the mods.
Yeah.
They need to do something with it because as many races, and you guys go to a lot of races, obviously, but I don't think it honestly, and I'm maybe way off, but for me personally, if I'm speaking for myself, obviously I am, but I would say I've enjoyed the sport mod racing this year more so than modified racing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Because the car counts are better. There's more side-by-side racing. Guys ain't so much checked out. I mean, there are the races, some of the sport mod races that there are. But for the most part, I would say I've enjoyed watching sport mod racing more so this year than modified racing, just because of that reason of just car counts and the competitiveness in that.
Mm-hmm. I think that comes down to the crate deal, because like we were big crate advocates when we started.
Yeah.
Because they were $3,800,
Yep.
$3,600, and now mod crates are almost $10,000 and sport mods are almost $7,000.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't have a place at that price.
Yeah.
So it's like our open motor deal that we run now is cheaper to run than it is a crate,
Yeah.
which should not be that.
Right.
And I think that has a lot to do with the problem with mods. Is no one wants to buy a $9,000-$10,000 crate.
Ooh, that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It makes zero sense
Right.
to do that.
Yeah.
But I get the crate deal. I mean, I was a big part of it. I loved it.
And I'm not bashing IMCA
No,
for any of this by any means. I really think, though, of as many guys have I talked to this year, and I can't believe it's not on their radar that something's got to be changed.
Something does, for sure.
Yep. But with that being said, I mean, it is what it is, and
Yeah, it
they decide of.
I mean, they can't predict. They can't predict the logistics of things
Right.
and economy, and they
Right.
can't predict that the crate engines are going to go up $2,000-$3,000. And
Now, you go to the race, like back in '91 when you were racing, the smell that would come from the cars coming by, they put a scent in the gas, right? What was that?
Quite a few got a kick out of that, I would say.
Yeah.
And actually that has no performance advantage at all.
No, not at all. But what I'm getting to is now it's outlawed.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it. And honestly, that's the biggest thing they need to change right away.
I remember
That's
grapes.
me. Yeah.
Grapes,
Because-
big time.
My little kids still bring this up. Why can't we smell that smell that,
Yeah.
because they were like, my daughter remembers it to this day. My oldest son, who's getting married, still remembers it. He's like, I don't smell it anymore. But that needs to change, because kids remember that, and that's what brings the fans in too, because they love that smell. And everyone in this room, I mean, would you disagree with that?
I would have to. I don't know, the grape smell.
The grape.
I don't know. A lot of people do miss that, but
Yeah, well, as us drivers, we don't smell.
No, I mean, you don't smell it.
But for
I mean,
fans, yeah.
Right.
Little
I'm talking
kids.
from a fan perspective of like that
Yeah.
smell. You know, you're at the races. You know where you're. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah,
As soon
for
as-
sure.
And that's what every spring I always look forward to that.
Yep.
But side topic, guys, just thought
Yeah.
of that when we were talking about the rules and that. But
I didn't know a lot of guys did that back. I thought it was a newer thing. I guess I didn't
no.
know they did it back then too.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a marijuana one too. Did you know
Yeah.
this? No, I'm not making this up.
I think some drivers just doing that.
That's a boom thing, isn't it?
So
yeah.
no, a good friend of mine out in Las Vegas, Ryan Cartel, I guess put a marijuana scent in,
Jesus.
and I guess it just stunk to high hell.
You know
It
what's
didn't even smell like it. It smelled like someone died. Is what I got. So yeah, it wasn't good at all. So
It's funny you say that because, like, obviously we travel a lot, go
Yeah.
to different states. There's been random tracks we end up to. We smell it.
yeah. No, you were just out in Oregon.
That's boom.
We were just in Oregon, yes.
In Oregon,
That's-
Oregon's legal there.
Oh,
what about Park Jefferson?
Yes,
Park Jefferson. We smelled some there too. We got
Really?
a big win.
Really?
My crew guy looked at me and was like, "Whoa, that's not a race car smoke."
Look, if I was to take a guess, that'd be Farmer sitting here.
Yep, farmer. Yep.
And he was
right
probably right there like a fucking hound dog.
His
looking
eyes-
right up, yeah.
Yep, his
The
eyes
size
were
of
all big, like
Silver dollar of.
Yeah, that's not a race car.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be smelling this here at the racetrack. I know what that
And he
is.
was craving a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Big man.
But you got, and by the way, that's a hell of a job. You pulled all the way out to Oregon. Won that was what, 10 grand?
Well, no, it was.
Close.
It felt like it. It felt like I spent 10 grand getting there because I drove a caster all the way out there with
Yeah.
the 28-foot trailer, fully loaded, everything.
So you know how much shit I got off of this?
I mean, I've heard
Let me
kind of.
let me explain to you. I go to Britt, Iowa to promote your podcast because that was the day that we dropped your podcast with Chris Krug and you.
Oh boy.
And I show up to the track. I'm ready to promote you and all this. Go up to Alec and said, I guess your brother ain't here tonight, huh? He goes, no, he's out in Oregon racing. I said, he is? I said, yeah. And he goes, you didn't know that? He didn't tell you in his podcast? And I said, no, I never heard anything. And he goes, well, I didn't know till today either. You know how many guys stopped me to ask me
That
if I knew where you were going? And I had no idea. No one knew.
we only.
It's your Sky wouldn't even tell me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Strict orders.
yeah.
We didn't even pre-register. Farmer thought I was crazy for. You could save $50 if you pre-register. I was like, no, we're doing this for fun of us and just make people guess. It was pretty fun and
Yeah.
like nobody hardly knew. Like there was a couple of people I had to tell because
So, Mom and Dad, did you guys know this?
Mom didn't
I
know
kept
because it was
asking.
text back. It's
I
a
kept
secret.
asking, and he's like, I'll talk to you later. And I'm like, are you here? I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Alex texted. Alec texted and
Yeah, I was texting Farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep.
I'm not gonna get a chance.
No one,
Jeez.
but
out there. Where you guys at?
Where you guys at?
Yes, it is nice out here.
Check my race
So-
stalls.
yeah, that'd be a fucking
Well,
stretch, wouldn't it?
At first, people
I mean, who would
were
have thought?
first people were kind of like,
I thought honestly it was the Dakota tour because
Oh.
that's when that was going on. I thought maybe you got.
a mod.
Yeah, I thought maybe Kelly
Yeah.
Shyrock gave you one of his mods, and you ran up there to run the Dakota tour.
They won't let us run mods like legally. Otherwise, we'd have to give up our sport by
Oh,
license.
really? Okay.
Yeah. So, but no, it was like we posted that we had our car out because everybody thought we were just taking a week off, and well, we posted a picture of, wait, what the hell? You guys are racing? Yeah, it was a fun trip mainly. I mean, everything
Right.
else on top of that was bonus because us Justin Farmer and I had never seen that landscape
Sure.
in that area. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But
And when you got out there, was it welcoming? I mean,
they were
did
super
people know who
nice.
you were?
They did, and there were people like, yeah, you came all this way. It's like, well, we wanted to get away. It
And
was just
are you talking drivers knew who you were?
drivers. Yeah,
Okay.
drivers. The perception was great. I mean, like Matt Sanders, the guy that I was racing with for lead, he was very good sportsmanship and everything, and I mean, he was a hell of a wheel. I mean, I've never seen somebody hit a rough cushion like that for 40 laps.
Yeah.
But he did. And if his shock mount didn't break, he would have been.
Would you say the racing out there is a little bit different than here in Iowa? Or
It's way more slick, which I love that. And that's another reason I went out there
Sure.
because I like slick and wide tracks so you can pass. But
have you guys? Has any of you guys done the duel in the desert?
no.
Is that something you guys want to do, or do it, or
Well, I don't know.
Brooke
Haven't really
looks
thought
like
about
she
it.
could go on a honeymoon to Vegas. This is your time here to
We've
shine.
talked
You
about
can make a
doing that.
racing trip out of this. So
Alex,
There's
the one.
racing in the Bahamas.
Yeah. There's no racing in Mexico or Bahamas.
Alex, the one that does that half mile stuff, because
No.
he's a lot.
I don't like half miles. Bristol was a fun deal.
Yeah, he went to Bristol, so,
Right.
But I'm not a half mile guy no more.
you
I
need to
just-
start sucking that shit up.
Yeah, I know. But if I didn't have to pay for what I wrecked, then yeah, I'd go and brave somebody else's car. But I don't know. I'm not big into Vegas or Bristol or nothing because But Bristol would have been sweet. I think that
No, what about the Winter Nationals down in Arizona? Would that be in what's that track
that'd
called?
be fun. Kokopah.
Kokopah, yeah. Is
That'd
that
be fun. That looks like a fun track up
Yeah.
there. It's a little bigger. It's like Brit probably size, a little bigger.
Sure.
But
That looks flat.
Is that
doesn't
one
it?
Yeah,
slick
flat.
also, Kobe?
what?
Is that one slick?
Yeah, it's super slick, top to bottom. They
Yeah.
have great racing
I know
out there too. so-
Braxton and all them guys talk
Look.
very highly of it.
Yeah.
They say it's a ball down there.
Mhm.
I'd love to go down there and podcast this for a weekend, you know.
Yeah, you should. There's a lot of guys that go down to that.
Yeah.
But
That'd be something you should do, Alec. is-
Yeah, I just
You know what?
work kind of gets in the way. So
Well, work's always tomorrow or the next day too. You're only young once.
I guess I could just have Dad cover me.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yippee!
Yeah. In January driving in Iowa, it's always a fun time, you know.
Absolutely.
Just get a 6-pack and
Yeah, that's one thing about this whole new deal that Alec has for his employment is, for now, when he goes playing, then I need to cover him. But I don't mind it really.
Yeah.
I know it's important for him to do these things, so
so
it's all, sweat my butt off. I'm just thinking, well, he's enjoying himself. Well, it was kind of makes us all good.
when you've been to all these races and that, what's probably one of the highlights of all of this?
All for me, I guess really, it's hard to talk about. I don't want to sound selfish or anything, but I really appreciated when Colby went down to Boone a couple of years back, 21.
Yeah.
He went down there and won that one,
The
Hawkeye 100.
Yeah.
And then so miracle happened, and I won in Brit.
Uh-huh.
And Alec was in second right behind me watching it, and that was pretty cool. And that was emotional for everybody.
Yeah, that was really, really cool.
It was sweet. And then, not even that, Dad and I won the same night. And literally, Alec came down because it was a 2-day deal for the Hawkeye
Uh-huh.
deal. Or was it a 2-day deal?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So then he came down, and we were looking to have a good race ourselves and with him. And he ended up winning it. I didn't even get a start, but he went out there and just dominated and won that. So we all three got a win within a couple days
hours.
apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was probably the most special
That,
one.
like I said, that's a little bit on the selfish side. It would be more so the prestigious
Sure.
point of one of the boys winning one big one, and
Yeah.
but they both probably enjoyed it more than I did.
Oh,
Right.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Alec and I love seeing Dad be competitive and good, and we
Yeah.
help him a lot because Alec would say the same. He's helped Dad. Dad's helped Alec and I through everything.
Yeah, he's
So
the backbone.
Yep, he's the backbone. So we want to give back, and for all the stuff we've learned,
Sure.
help him back. So
Now, if I was a guessing, if I was going to Vegas, I'd say probably $5,000, maybe $10,000 on this. Of your two boys here, I would say probably Kobe's your hellion.
The hellion?
Yeah,
I just
as
I
the
don't have
problem,
hellions.
as the problem child.
My daughter.
No, she's not here, but I'm talking of
no
these
competition.
two.
And then I do have another son, Ryan, that was just
Our kids.
you can't. No,
He was the hell.
I got no. Yeah, they never took after me on that.
They seen what you've done, and I better not fuck this up.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dad taught us very well. We'll say that.
they heard stories of, no, let's not do that.
Yeah, we've heard a lot of stories. You come to Algona, Iowa, like I work here, and I hear everything from everybody that knows him.
Did you grow up here in Algoma?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
What year?
I never grew up, but yeah,
What year did you graduate high school?
1983.
Okay. So I grew up in Clarion, so you guys were in our conference then, which I think it's all been realigned and all that shit. But yeah, so we would come up here and play all the time, or you guys would come down there and play. And
I played up to my sophomore year for football, and then wrestled
okay,
through my junior year.
okay.
That,
Did you enjoy wrestling? Or
It's very good.
yeah. Well, no, I was never good at it, but average. But yeah, I did.
I know Kobe wrestled, and he said he wrestled all the way up to what, the sophomore?
I wrestled the whole time, so senior year.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't the better brother. I wasn't best at that. That was Ryan and Alec.
Did you wrestle them too, Al?
Yeah, I wrestled. I started pretty young, but
Yeah.
kind of got burnt out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Racing kind of got. I enjoyed racing a lot more, and wrestling was a lot of work. So.
How far did you make it to state or anything, or?
I made it to state in middle school, but nothing in high school.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, he was typically ranked wrestler throughout the season, and then just after doing it so long, it kind of gets to some people. I mean, I had a classmate that was big time wrestler, like ranked number 1, 2 all the time, and by the time he was a junior and senior, he did it forever, and he just kind of just didn't care anymore.
Yeah,
it's a very taxing sport.
It's a commitment sport.
It is.
And, but I could see where you would enjoy racing more of just because of
you could do it
if I could do it
forever.
Yeah, as long as you can.
Yeah. Now, you guys follow football at all, like pro sports or anything? What do you guys watch?
I haven't much lately, but
I do.
Yeah.
So,
what do you watch of?
that's football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vikings fan or?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I'm a diehard Vikings fan
Okay.
too. So yeah,
I was just waiting for.
no. At least you're not a Green Bay fan, so that's all right.
Oh, okay, no kidding.
And the sad part about it is my dad was a Green Bay fan, and he bought stock into when it came available where you could buy part of the team. So he bought the 2 shares for himself and 2 shares for my stepmother. Well, when my stepmother passed away some years ago, he rolled those shares over to his name. So he had 4 shares. And then when my dad passed away, my younger son Maverick would always be joking around with me, "Go Pack, go!" Just being a smart ass, a little 3-year-old at that time. So when my dad passed away, we're like, "Now we got to pass this along to Maverick of just keeping that tension, you know what I mean, of rivalry of Green Bay and Vikings." But so we rolled those stocks over to my little guy's name, and at 4 years old, well, he'll be 5 here in a couple weeks. He's an owner of the Green Bay Packers.
Pretty cool.
He got a letter in the mail a couple weeks ago, and it was you could go to Lambeau. They have an owners meeting and everything. And they sent 4 tickets to go to this owners meeting, and then you got to vote on all that shit, And anyway, I said, "Maverick, we got some big decisions to make here. What do you want to vote on?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't care." So I'm thinking, well, I wonder who's the less competent, what's the word I'm looking for? Who's the less guy that would make the proper decisions, if that makes sense. And that's who I'm voting for on this deal of just, to give a little advantage to the Vikings,
Yeah, there you go.
But,
they're looking for you.
Yeah. But I think it's pretty cool, at 5 years old, he owns the Packers and that. But, yeah. Well, I'll wrap this up, guys. I appreciate you guys sitting here with me and taking the time out of your night and that. And I know we had quite a bit of guys compliment on our first episode, Kobe, and that. But I wanted to have both you brothers on just with the Salute to Veterans, and both you guys have had Salute to Veterans cars and all that. And, just kind of highlight that of what that tour meant for both of you. And so I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your night and doing all this. So
thanks for having us.
And best of luck at Harris Clash and Super Nationals and all that. And with that being said, wrap this up. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and follow us on TikTok and all that. And I appreciate everyone downloading and listening. And until next time, toodaloo.
Pit Stop Motorsports, Dirt Tracks Racing, largest inventory trackside parts service. We keep racers on the track, located in Rock Springs, Wyoming, and coming to a track near you. Check us out on Facebook at Pit Stop Motorsports. And tell Slade Pitt the slimy bastards sent you.
Driver interviews, pit action, industry news. We're bringing you everything that fuels the adrenaline-pumping world of dirt track racing. Buckle up now. You're sitting with the slimy bastards.